Wholeness, beautiful beings. Um, this video is, or this message is about giving. And um, there's some things for those of us that, or those of you that struggle with when to give, when to conserve, when to receive. May this message help you and assist you. A lot of us out there are very sensitive human beings, and some of us aren't. Some of us claim to be more sensitive than what we actually are. A lot of human beings do this. We do this thing where we claim to be a certain way, and in that way is just a mask that we hide behind. It's just a character that we play in the game of life. It's not our most authentic and true self. When you're giving from a sincere and genuine and authentic space, that is true giving. When you receive something in the most open, allowing, accepting nature, that is your most authentic self. When you begin to tie on the frequency of expectation, of entitlement, of obligation, it's no longer giving and it's no longer receiving. It becomes something else. And I just realized today, I'm a very, there's parts of me that are, I think will always remain this naive. I guess I will say this, there's a naivete about myself and my nature. I tend to always look at the best in people. I'm attracted to the potential of the best in people. I'm attracted to their light in them. And this person could be of weak character, a weak mindset, a wounded heart, wounded warrior. I bypass all of what makes them heavy. I bypass all of the illusions that they believe in that continue their suffering, that perpetuates their suffering. I bypass all of that, and all I see is light. And usually how we perceive other people is how we perceive ourselves. So thus I see the light in myself, and as well as the dark. I'm getting a lot better with this whole connecting between lower nature, higher nature. One thing, a conversation I had recently with someone, and it really dawned on me, wow, like, never, ever, ever, avoid this at all costs. Never demand someone to help you or assist you. They're not going to be giving from a space of sincerity and authenticity. They'll be giving from a place of obligation, meaning you're missing the heart element. It becomes a duty. It becomes almost like, you say, give me this amount of money, or give me this tool, or give me this resource that you have. It's almost like a paycheck, like your employer. Like, give me my money, you know what I'm saying? And it's very, very low. It's not coming from a space of love or sincerity. It's one thing to hold people accountable for their actions, right? When we say to someone, I am going to do this for you, that person will say, thank you so much, and then they'll make that and create an expectation for you to follow through with your word. I don't put that pressure on myself. I don't put that pressure on other people. I allow people to show me who they are, and then I base my decision off of that experience. All actions speak. actions and behavior, they stand for something. That's a language being spoken, and you have to pay attention and listen. When people show you who they are through their actions and how, or lack thereof, they are showing you what they're about. They're showing you their character. They're showing you their values. They're showing you who they are. Believe them, right? Maya Angelou, she has a quote, like, people will always show you who they are. Believe them. When people tell you who they are, believe them. And that's that. Then it's on you. It's not on them. You can't chase people and make people give you something that they don't want to give. Like, that, to me, it's like it's almost very, it's a weak move to force somebody. It's almost like, okay, for example, you have someone that you want to be in a committed relationship with, right? Just a perfect example, simple example. And this person's like, I don't love you like that. I don't want you. I don't see myself committing myself to you in that way. But then you make them and guilt them and shame them and blame them and trick them and manipulate them into somehow choosing to be committed in a relationship with you that they don't care about. That's not of love, and that's not coming from a place of genuine and sincere connection. It's forced. It's forced, right? So when you're demanding someone to give you something, it is no longer a giving. It's like you're taking through coercion. You're taking through manipulation and guilt and shaming and blaming. Yes, we all must hold ourselves accountable. Like, okay, I'll say this about this whole giving thing. You can only hold yourself accountable. You can only be responsible for your actions. Personally, when people show me who they are, I don't go about trying to... I'm very much like this with my friendships, or when I'm expanding, or I feel like I'm personally outgrowing a connection with someone. I'm not going to go out of my way to confront all the wrong things that they said and all the arguments that went wrong. I just allow the connection to disintegrate naturally. And that's that. I can confront the issue if I am confronted. Like, if someone's like, why aren't we talking? Why aren't we hanging? What's going on? And I'm like, okay, maybe we need to have a conversation. But if it's gone a long periods of time and there's no connection, I don't force things. I don't. Because I'm a firm believer that when people show you who they are, then you have to then take the reins and move forward, move on. I will never force someone to live up to the words that they spoke to me. I don't hold people by their word. You're setting yourself up. I don't. It's a nice thing to say, because words can be very binding if you say them enough, right? That's why we have the word spell. In the English language, you're spelling out. It's like you're casting a spell when you speak. But holding other people accountable to their word? No way. No. That's not, when people fall short for whatever reason, that could be when people fall short and don't meet their expectation and they don't follow through with what they said, kaput. It's done. Thank you, no thank you. That's what you're showing me about your character. That's where your mindset is, and we no longer need to have a conversation. We no longer need to continue to connect and bond. Forcing people to be accountable is like pulling teeth, and then everything that they do moving forward with you will always be full of resentment and obligation and force. It's a nasty energy and a nasty frequency to connect yourself with. No one owes you anything. No one is obligated to give you anything. No one is obligated to assist you, to help. True giving comes from the heart. True giving doesn't ask for anything in return. When I'm truly giving something to someone or gifting someone something to someone, whether it's monetary or my time or my effort, I already know I'm going to receive the payback, if you will. Because energy is all, we're all connected. All that you give out, you receive. All that you receive, you give out again. And it may manifest in the same way, in the same frequency. You give out, if I gifted $500 to someone, okay, I might get, in the future, and then when I need it, $500 is, given to me. Or it could be something that it's equivalent of that. All that we give and all that we receive, it's interchangeable. But never force somebody to give you something. Never force anyone to because it's not giving anymore. It's a taking. You're taking something. When you demand someone to follow through with their word and they fail to do that, it's because they never wanted to give in the first place. Be heartful and mindful of this. Yes, we always want someone to follow through with their word. They make promises to us. If they make a plan and they say that they're going to follow through and then they don't, okay, give them some leverage. Talk it out. Walk it out. And if they continue to not step up like they promised, then don't bother. Move on. Never get hung up on people or situations where you're demanding them to give you something that probably never really belonged to you anyway. If it's meant for you, it will never pass you by. Ever. If it's meant for you at that moment, it will not pass you by. And that's what I wanted to share as a reminder with giving. Sincerity and genuine love. That's true giving. Force, shaming, blaming, guilt tripping, obligation, all of that's not giving. That's taking. That is taking. That's the frequency of taking something because you feel entitled to it. Entitlement is a nasty, low energy. It's a very selfish energy. The world doesn't owe you anything. Like I said before, the world doesn't owe you anything. No one owes you anything. And if you walk around here in reality thinking the whole world that you deserve whatever, you need to stop and ask yourself what you're giving. That is a spirit of lack. Entitlement is a spirit of lack because you believe you're so deserving of all, to receive all, but you give very little. Because somehow you have a story in your mind that's told, you tell yourself, I've given enough already. I don't need to give anymore. Check yourself before you wreck yourself. We've all gone through seasons and cycles of this in life. But I make it myself aware to always be on the up and up, with giving and receiving, giving and receiving. If I don't give if I don't have it. And if I have it, I have to be in that space of genuine, sincere love. If I feel like it's an obligation I have to give, That's not giving. It's a duty, it's a job, it's a thing I gotta do. That's not good. That's not love. So may this message find you well and whole. And yeah, I just wanted to share that with you all. Let me know what you think. It's late. Excuse me. There's supposed to be a rainstorm, a thunderstorm tonight. Sometimes they're soothing, sometimes they're a bit loud. But I don't mind. It's just rain. All right. Rest well, everyone. Good night.